Valentina, pretty incredible preparing for your 8th consecutive title defense. I mean, are there still emotions, nerves, anything, or is it just business as usual for you at this point?
As usual, emotion, nerves, everything like on their own place.
Fair enough. You know, obviously everybody's pointing to your last bout in June and saying, oh, maybe there's some weakness there. She's finally showing that she can be beaten. How do you look back to that fight in June? What do you think we saw in that fight?
I think it was a good fight, and definitely we are speaking about the top competition, right? Best promotion of mixed martial arts in the world. We're competing all the best athletes. Definitely, you're gonna have to work out a lot, and not every fight can be like easy fight, right? But this is the difference between champion and challenger. Because champion, no matter how hard is the fight, will find the way to stay the champion. This is what I show in the fight. No matter how hard it was, yes, it was harder than like maybe previous fight, but still the champion I am.
Nice. You've continued to fight the best in the world. Alexa Grasso, amazing boxing skills, good on the feet, I guess. What do you see in her, and where does she stack up in terms of challenges that you've faced?
Yeah, you said exactly. She is very good in what she is doing. That's why she is a contender for this bout, for this like next my title defense. And yeah, I took everything seriously about her. I know she's good in her striking, but we also cannot forget we are fighting mixed martial arts. So I prepared for everything as usual. And yeah, just be very attentive during the whole fight and be myself and do everything I have to do to win the fight.
Nice. And last thing for me, obviously an 8th consecutive defense would be incredible. You're setting women's records, but then you would start getting next to the names like, you know, GSP and Anderson Silva and Demetrius Johnson. Do you look at things like that, and do you want to set records like that before you decide you're done? What else do you have left to check off before you say I've done enough?
It's never enough. No matter how much you are doing, it's never enough, because for me, martial arts, it's my life. And I'm not competing for numbers. I'm not competing for like be next to some name or something like that. I do that because I love to do that. And if I do that, I want to be the best.
Valentina, over here. In your last few fights, leading up at like the press conferences and the media day, you would say things like, they all say the same thing, they all talk. But Alexa's been very respectful of you. She praises you at media day. So has it been refreshing to have an opponent that isn't, you know, talking? She just respects your skills and wants to challenge herself.
This is like I think it's all fighters, they have their own character, right? Alexa, she's Alexa. Other fighters, they're other fighters, and she won't like do things that she never did before, only because someone want to create trash talk or something like that, or more attention for the fight. No, I think this is exactly what this fight game need: characters. If you are like you are, be you are, not be someone else. If someone creating trash talk because he is or she is trash talkers, that's fine, but don't try to play some game that it's not yours. And yeah, I heard like she also mentioned about like everyone has a weak point, something like that, but and she kind of like will figure it out where is this weak point, but I want to say I want to leave a reminder. While you are trying to figure out my weak point, don't forget about your weak point. Don't forget about your fears. I know her fears, I know her weak point, and I will use it in my game.
I saw you did some of your camp in Japan, and you did some sumo wrestling, or you were at sumo wrestling. How was that experience?
It was amazing. Actually, I didn't do training with the sumo wrestling. I was watching how they train. And it's very impressive because usually people, what do? They watch competition, and it's kind of like whole different story. And the trainings, you see how they work, how much effort they put on their sport. And after we were like very lucky to have a lunch with them and actually to stay see how they are living. It's like 3-floor building. First floor this is like training gym. Second and third and one dormitories, and third when they like cook, and they cook by themselves. It's everything about traditions, everything about like how you how much you respect you have to your like training partner, to your teacher. And I very enjoy to see the approach what Japan like how is martial arts over there, because it's kind of like old style martial arts. Now in the modern world, many fighters, they're thinking about money, about like ratings, about like they don't care much about the gyms, they don't care much about their coaches, but there it's still like old school, the school what I was growing up, the same spirit, and where they fighting, they training very hard. And I speak not only about the sumo wrestling, also about MMA fighters, about like in general mixed martial arts. And they're training because they have an idea. They're very dedicated what they are doing. They fight for their noble things. They fight for their gym, their coaches, not because some money they will get. No, it's about honor, and I very respect that.
Valentina over here. Hi. You mentioned training in Japan. Is there anywhere else you'd like to go next to train? You train all over the world. Is there any place you have in mind of where you'd like to train next?
To train next, it's a very interesting question, but I don't know about the training, but one of my countries what I really want to visit, India, is calling me a lot and saying, Valentina, when you come to India, and I really want to go there because I think India is a very pretty country. I love to watch Bollywood movies, and recent movies, they are like, they are just cool, especially about sport. They're very cool movies. I want to go to New Zealand. I've been in Australia like a couple years ago, but didn't have a chance to travel to New Zealand. And I think wherever I go, I will train as well.
And just last question from me. When we spoke last, I know you mentioned that you feel like Erin Blanchfield would need one more fight if she was to fight for the title. But
or maybe more.
Maybe, okay. Well, Dana White mentioned in an interview recently that he does think that Erin's next because of an issue with Talia Santos fighting in the United States. What was your reaction to that? I don't know if you saw that clip.
No, I didn't see that clip. I didn't see, I didn't know because I am super focused on my upcoming fight this Saturday. But I still believe if they put her, that's fine. But I still believe she's not ready for the title fight yet.
Valentina, aquí, ¿cómo estás? En español, ¿está bien?
Está bien.
Si bien es cierto, tú eres de Kirguistán originaria, también peleas por Latinoamérica. Técnicamente es la primera vez que dos peleadoras latinoamericanas van a pelear por un título en el UFC. Toda la gente te quiere mucho en Latinoamérica y está pendiente de esta pelea. ¿A ti qué significa Latinoamérica en esta pelea?
Significa mucho para mí Latinoamérica porque he vivido bastante tiempo, 8 años por allá, y claro que adoptó muy bien la cultura que tiene la gente, en ambiente en general, y tengo mucho amor y mucho cariño por todos los países, porque cuando nosotros vivimos en Perú, por este tiempo, nosotros viajamos por toda Latinoamérica, Colombia, Ecuador, Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, sí, claro que Brasil. Tenemos muy buenos amigos en México también, muy buena escuela Black Belt Central. Y este mundo siempre se queda en mi corazón, porque tanto tiempo es como ya es parte de ti.
Valentina, hay mucho respeto entre Alexa y tú, pero en términos generales, ¿qué tienes tú que no tiene Alexa?
Yo creo que eso vamos a ver el sábado, ¿no? Y yo no me gusta antes de la pelea hablar mucho de estas cosas, comparar una a la otra, porque yo creo que cada una tiene sus cosas buenas y esto es lo más bonito de ver en artes marciales. Cada uno es diferente y todos juntos nosotros como traemos una belleza para artes marciales mixtas en general.
Gracias.
Valentina, down here. Do you think you'll ever go back up to bantamweight, or is the rest of your career going to be at flyweight?
I do think I'm going to move up. Yeah, I do think it's going to happen sometimes, someday.
Given that, do you think a trilogy with Amanda is inevitable?
It's only the one reason why I should move up.
How do you think a trilogy goes?
This time has to go like my way, no matter what. I think I will have to do like everything that I have to do to win the fight, because it's kind of like what I expecting from myself.
Do you think you're the only person at 135 that can beat Amanda?
I am. I will try to do that. Yeah, I think that our like second fight what we had, and I don't think that I lost that fight, and I rewatched it like several times, and I still think it should be like go different way. If it would be like champion against champion, no doubt judges would give like victory to my side. But that time it was different situation, different circumstances. That's why it's happened what has happened. But when the trilogy gonna happen, it's gonna be everything like completely new, brand new.
Valentina, down here, I know you said that you don't focus on accolades and making history, but if you do win this fight, you're going to become the first champion to complete the set of rubies. You're going to have 8 rubies. I mean, how does that feel?
Oh, it feels amazing, yeah, definitely, but I don't think about that right now. I don't want to put in my head thoughts that don't belong here right now at this moment. I know if I win, this is only what matter. But if I start to think about rubies, numbers, names, or something like that, I'm gonna go way far from my goal. So I prefer to stay focused on what I have to do, and I know if I do the way as I want to do that, I mean successfully defend my title. Everything else just gonna be here naturally.
Thank you.
Hey, Valentina. Ren Nakai picked up a big win and called you out, and then you said, if you come to the UFC, get in the top 10, I would like to fight you. Is that a fight, I know that you're focused on Alexa, but is that a fight in the future that you would like to welcome?
I think, yeah, I saw her tweet and she was like saying things like that with a lot of respect and everything. I think she's like old school fighter who was first Japanese fighter fighting in UFC and now having this successful career, what she is having, I think 10 wins like by KO submission, something like that. And she deserved to be in UFC, but it doesn't mean that she can like straight jump in here and fight for the title. It doesn't mean. I just say like, yeah, you deserve to be in UFC because you are old school fighter.
With her being an old school fighter, is that a name that you would like to put on your resume?
I don't know. I never think about like what collecting names or something like that. But if she can do that, if she can like go back to the UFC, if she can claim up to top 10, it's hardly difficult, I say, because this competition is very hard. If she can do that, why not?
Cool. Thank you.
Valentina, way over here in the back. Valentina, we always talk about, oh, she must prepare so much to be at the level that she's at and to be as successful as she has. So when you have a fight like your last one that was so competitive and you already trained so much, does it change anything? How do you improve when you already put so much work into being the best?
Oh, it's kind of like cool thing about martial arts. You never stop to improve. No matter how successful you are here to be better every single day. And no matter how was successful fight, or what fight it was, there is some things to work on. And after every fight, after successful defense, even more a little bit complicated defense, me, my coach Pavel, my team, we are sitting together, we see what we can add to my game and we work on that. So this process is never stopping for me. So it's kind of like natural for me. I every time looking how to be better.
We obviously finally got to see your movie with Halle Berry, Bruised. The fight ends in a draw. Is there a version of the movie where you win the fight?
About what?
Is there a version of the movie where you win the fight with Halle Berry?
What kind of movie you were watching?
Or the film?
I am winning the fight over there. What kind of movie was you watching?
Thank you.
Valentina, aquí en español otra vez. La última pelea tuya fue difícil, fue cerrada, fue complicada. ¿Cambiaste algo para esta nueva defensa de tu campeonato? ¿Agregaste algo, quitaste algo, alimentación, parte física, la táctica?
No significa que tú tienes que cambiar algo cardinalmente. a pesar que una pelea fue un poquito más complicada que las otras. No estoy pensando que la pelea fue mucho más complicada, porque ¿qué nosotros podremos ver de mi contrincante? Sentar de atrás de mi espalda y solamente esperar cuando pasa el tiempo así y recibiendo todo el damage que yo siempre golpeaba. ¿Qué se puede decir? Sí, tal vez esta decisión fue 2-1, sí, tal vez, pero no creo que fue muy complicada y muy difícil para coordinalmente cambiar algo. No, yo sé que solamente tenía que trabajar igual como yo estoy trabajando, y lo más importante para la pelea que yo tengo este sábado es ser mí misma, trabajar en mis instintos como peleadora, y yo sé que si estoy en una forma de 100%, todo va a salir bien.
Y ya una más rapidito. Llevas muchas defensas de tu corona y ganas y ganas y ganas. ¿Hay algún momento en que te aburres, que es lo mismo con lo mismo, que el reto competitivo tuyo dice necesito otra cosa? ¿Te pasa eso por la mente en algún momento o no?
No, nada, porque cada pelea es pelea de verdad. Y cuando tú entras al octágono, el frente a ti es un rival que quiere golpearte con toda la fuerza, nunca no puedes estar aburrida, porque los golpes son de verdad.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Valentina in the back. Way back here. The competition in all of the weight classes for the women continues to improve. What are you seeing in the kind of this latest crop of competitors that has improved martial arts for the better, specifically in UFC?
I see a lot of progress in competition, yes, and it's like female martial arts, they are on a huge level right now. And I was saying previously that flyweight is going to be the most interesting weight class in female division, and now we finally can see that and people accepting that. I was saying it for years, and now with when time is passed, people kind of ready to accept it. It was there since the beginning, but now everyone is ready to accept. This is the difference. But yes, definitely the level is huge right now. Now we can see not only style against style, for example, wrestler against striker. No, girls are complete MMA fighter. They fight good in striking, they fight good in wrestling, they fight good in on the ground game. So this is the development of the sport. And MMA, mixed martial arts, is the sport #1 in the whole world right now.
Last question for me. Next week in Dallas, ATA will have its spring national championships. What would you say to those young women and young men who are getting ready to head to the mat next week?
Oh, just want to wish the best of luck for every single competitor, because sport brings happiness to every person, no matter how what kind of result you can get, win or lose. But this is a part of this magic journey of the sport, and I say. From my experience, and I am in sport this year, celebrating 30 years, I can say exactly this is what makes me happy.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Valentina, over here. You know, you're a pretty big betting favorite, as expected at this point, against Alexa this week, and you've been as much of a Sherlock as it gets in the sport. Kind of curious, where your confidence is. You know, are you still deserving it to be a 5-1 favorite over somebody?
You know, I never watched that before the fight. This is the less interesting thing, what it's taking my attention about the odds and everything like that. Because I'm kind of focusing on a real thing, in real, when I'm gonna step inside of the octagon, I'm gonna face a furious girl what wanna to take what is mine, and I not let her do that things. That's why kind of I'm every time focused on myself and not looking who put me, or because it's kind of you cannot be good for everyone. There is some people say you are good, there is some people say you are bad. So just be honest with yourself. Do what your conscience says to you that this is the right things to do. And this is the most important. If you know that you are doing everything right, this is number one what you have to take in your mind.
Perfect. And then obviously your name is about as big as it gets in women's mixed martial arts, and you're fighting on a card with John Jones headlining, obviously the biggest name, or one of the biggest names in the sport. Curious how you think that John Jones-Cyril Gane fight's going to play out.
I think it's amazing fight, huge comeback for John Jones, amazing opponent, Cyril Gane. And yeah, it's going to be just over the roof, the event by itself, because it's not only just about them, it's about whole fight card, and I think it's just amazing. Thank you so much.